EOD. Good evening. This is Herman Bird. And this evening I'm going to be speaking to you about briefing and meeting etiquette. One of the most important things we can do is what I call a pre-meeting. The pre-meeting is designed for the leaders, for the host, and for the members to arrive at the meeting place 15 minimum to 30 minutes prior to guest arriving. The reason why? First of all, you want to check the room setup, make sure it's to your liking. Number two, you want to pre-trip the equipment to make sure it's functioning and working properly. Number three, you want to be there when the guests arrive so you can welcome them in and make them feel at home. You do not want to be arriving with the guest. You want to be there to greet the guests as they arrive. Now, when you come into the area, even prior to the guest arriving, bring your positive attitude. We do not want whiners, complainers, and moaners in the business meeting around the guests, because that then is a downer. That then says something to the guests that maybe this is not all it's going to be cracked up to be. So therefore, bring your positive attitude. Now, members, you have to assist with the cost and the expense of the meeting room and any other items that the leader has deemed necessary to host the meeting. So come prepared to share in the cost. If it's a monthly, make sure you pay your monthly dues and pay them on a timely basis. Now, once you're there and you are set up and the guests are arriving and you've greeted them and you've invited someone to come and they haven't shown up yet, right before the meeting starts, please do not go out into the hall. Do not walk out into the lobby. Do not be looking out the window, because that is showing a sign of desperation. Your guests should feel privileged that you invited them to come and attend your company that is or is going to be a multi-million-dollar business. Now, let's talk about once they are there and how you should be able to present yourselves. Remember, this is a business. This is your business. So therefore, you need to look like it's a multi-million-dollar business. You need to come attired in either business attire or semi-business attire to look the part that this is a serious company. This is an opportunity to make some money in this company. And as they say, first impressions are lasting impressions. Please, no gym shoes, no blue jeans. And gentlemen, no hats, caps should be worn in the meeting. Now, I do know when we invite people sometimes, they have a hard time, I guess, getting a babysitter. But I would recommend to you that there be no kids in the meeting. Why? Because kids are lovable and adorable. And we don't want them to interfere and take away the steam from the presenter and the leaders in the room. So please, no kids. Seating. When you come in the room, come to the front of the room. There's an old adage that the closer you're to the fire, the more warmer your pocketbook is going to be. So therefore, come and sit in the front of the room. Do not save seats. If you can arrive on time, you should expect your guests to arrive on time. So no saving seats. And then once you're there, stay seated. No getting up. If you didn't use the bathroom before, cross your legs. Do something, but please do not get up and interrupt the meeting as it's going on. And also, cell phones, turn them off. Put them on mute at the very least. You do not want that phone going off or answering the phone or talking on the phone while you're in a meeting. That is so rude. And speaking of rudeness, as the presentation is going on, there should be no talking between you and your guest or between you and other members that is disruptive and is not respectful to the speaker. Now, once the presentation is done, do not get up immediately and leave and walk out of the room. I challenge you to practice what I call the 60-second rule. The 60-second rule is simple. That means after the presentation is done, you want to turn and look to your guests and ask them one question. What did you like best about what you just heard? Once you ask that question, be quiet. Don't say another word until he or she responds to your to your question. So therefore, make sure you remain in the room. If they show interest, try and allow one of the leaders to close unless they say, I'm ready to sign up right now. Because why? From the very beginning, you are not a prophet in your own land. The leader's in the room and the speaker has more credibility to that new person than you do. So allow them to close and then have them sign up. Now, if they flat out say, no, I'm not interested, don't want it, thank them politely and politely escort them out of the room. You do not want negativity sitting around interfering with your business. Now, once they have joined, introduce them to the crowd and say, we would like to welcome John, Joe, or Mary Jane to our group, and let the group recognize them with an applause. The other thing, we have something in the industry called BAM FAM. It means book a meeting from a meeting. So therefore, from this meeting, introduce your next event to your new guest and to the members. And it's always going to be the most important meeting that's coming up. So BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting. And one other final thing, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you are asked, or we are asked, to get up and give a testimonial about our business. It should be no longer than 30 seconds. 30 seconds, who you are, your background, your reason why you joined the business, and how it has affected you and your family or your lifestyle since then. So remember, in conclusion, pre-meeting, no saving of seats, cell phones off, proper attire, book a meeting from a meeting, and welcome your guest in. With that, Herman Bird saying, go and conduct an important meeting and use proper etiquette and bring the people into our business. Thank you and have a good day. Bye now.